Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? It's Tuesday, November the 12th, about 5 p.m. here in freezing Manitoba, Canada. Tomorrow, we're probably going to get about minus 25 degrees Celsius with the wind chill. And then in January, we get up to minus 40 with the wind chill. And it's cold enough where if you take your hand out and you put it into the wind for 2 minutes, you'll actually get frostbite on your hand. It's that cold here. But you know what? I always say, it's only at Christmas if you have lots of snow, and that's what a wonderland is like. So let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. What position am I in today? Nothing whatsoever yet. Waiting for NEO to come to fruition, okay? And the reason why I'm very interested in NEO is because it is not correlating whatsoever in any way to Bitcoin, obviously because of fundamental reasons that I don't really discuss on my YouTube or Twitter because I'm a technical analyst and a 100% day trader or swing trader that makes his decision based on what the technical analyst based on technical analysis and based on what I see in the charts specifically only, right? So guys, I'm interested in NEO because it's reaching very high RSIs right now. It's already over 70 on the 90-minute chart. I love the 90-minute chart because it's halfway between the 1 hour and the 2 hour right now, and we see, for example, on the 45-minute chart we're crossing over, and my target will be one more wave up right now. Okay, I do not see this as the first impulse wave up, or even if I do, right, even if I do see this as the first impulse wave up right here, I see this as 1, 2, 3, a 4 coming down and a 5. I would like to short the 5th subwave to the upside of the 3rd wave coming down, which is also the 4th wave. Let me explain this to you with visuals. So then this makes 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 somewhere up there. And my bet will be this right here. And I am confident in this trade. My bet is that 5 will double topish right there, as in the subwave for the 5, okay? And then we'll finally break out of it based on the fundamental news of NEO 3.0, etc. And we know how China loves NEO, right? So I won't get into further tactical analysis in that, but I believe that's going to make something like that, and then we'll end up double topping near somewhere there, and then we'll get that retracement to the downside. And I would like to short this specific region over here with a target to the 4th wave coming down. So that is my play for the day, and that's what I'll be waiting for a while until it comes to fruition. If it does not, that is okay. As long as I'm setting up myself for a high probability trade, then I'm reassuring myself that, hey, there's still a chance for a profit. And if there isn't, that's alright. It didn't come to fruition. I will never force a trade. So let's get into this Bitcoin technical analysis. I'm going to try my best not to click as much because I know it can be very irritating, okay? But first, let's go to CMC maybe. Yeah, let's go to CMC and anything else we can check. Nothing really. Okay, so... Oh, that's really bright, the screen right now. I apologize for that. So right now, we're actually still at $240 billion. Bitcoin dominance is still below 70%, which means that alts right now are doing fairly well compared to Bitcoin, in my opinion, because Bitcoin dominance, I prefer it over 70%, and I like market caps of well over $250 or $300 billion. Volume right now hasn't really moved too much for Bitcoin in terms of the historical data over the 24-hour time frame that we have seen here. So, oops, my mistake. So we look at, for example, the 24-hour trending volume, and you do that by going to historical data, and then go here where you see the volume. What you'll see is that yesterday, or sorry, the 10th, the 11th, and today roughly, still $20 million, 20 billion, 20 billion, 20 billion. Whereas on the 9th, we were at 17 billion, and well before that, we were in the mid 20 billions. Like 25 billion range, and now we're stabilizing at the $20 billion range. So volume hasn't picked up quite yet or anything, right? The open and the high are closing in very, very much so into a tight region where something is most likely going to happen very soon. So let's get into this Bitcoin technical analysis by reviewing how the month is looking every single day first of all. And we're always gonna start off by saying that, first of all, acknowledge the last month, right? We have a very, very bullish pin bar right here that has bounced specifically off of both the 8 and the 13 EMA that did not even bother touching this one over here, the 21. And then you look at the weekly as well, and we say that the weekly was actually looking beautiful. And we say that the weekly for 35 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each one of these represents a 7-day candle. So 7 times 35 is 35 days. Huge bullish pin bar that broke to the upside by bouncing off of the 55 EMA first of all. Beautiful sight to see. We thought that we were going to get some reaction and bounce off of the 21 EMA, but we're actually, right now it's too early to tell in the week. But of course we're trading below the 55 EMA now, right? So the 8K range is got to act as a very hard support, okay? And I'll explain to you why 8K needs to act as a super hard support very soon. So the bullishness is definitely identified on the weekly, but what worries me is the lack of momentum going to the upside, and we're losing steam. So this is a very linear drop. This is not a linear increase. This is an increase where it's actually going to end up doing something like that. I can't remember the term. It's convex or concave. I always get those two mixed up. So that doesn't look too promising based on the histogram and how we've actually started to lose steam. And now we're going to take a look at the 3-day as well and see how this is trending. The 3-day right now, we don't know yet, okay? The 3-day right now, this downtrend right there was contributing to the weekly candle of it curving like that. But if we take a look at the 3-day moving average, we see that, well, it's very, very slow to decline, and it could end up doing something like that. So now we take a look at the 2-day, and we're actually below. Yeah, we're below the negative line right now for the MACD, but the histogram is showing very similar symptoms as the 3-day as well. And what I don't like personally is that on the daily, we actually close below the 55 moving average for the first time in about 16 days. And then if we look on the daily as well, okay, we ended up trying to close above. No, first of all, let's actually back up. For the past 5 days, we'll talk about this. So for the past 5 days, this type of candle is just a nasty drop, right? It was made with a lot of conviction that wanted to surpass and drop the previous support of the 55 EMA. Make sense? So once again, the bears were in full control there. They pushed it down strong enough so that the 55 EMA was entirely broken. But of course, once you break below the 55 EMA, if the 200 moving average is actually below it, that is where most likely you'll end up finding the first mode of support. Let me just grab my glass of water behind me, guys. So right now, guys, this is kind of my stance just for now. Right there. Bearish for now, right? But I'm talking about just to test going to the downside, okay? Maybe just a little bit with the wick, but overall I'm still very bullish. Maybe short term actually I should take that back, okay? Let me try this again. Right now I'm more so bearish to neutral, kind of in between both of those. But I think that tomorrow or with a little bit of conviction, my bias will absolutely change to bullish sentiment. It just need a little bit more work on it. So what you're seeing right now is a sandwiching between the 55 EMA and the 200 EMA right here. Right? So right now for the past 5 days, we closed below the 55 EMA. And then we got a nice little doji candle here, or a morning star rather, whatever you want to call it. And then here we get this huge green candle that was a nice little pump up from 8,700 to 9,200 2 days ago. And then the bears decided to say, you know what, we're not going to let them close above the 55 EMA. We're going to push them back down. And then of course we bounce off of the 200 moving average. And today it is very evident with lots of proof in the pudding that we are absolutely going to challenge the 200 moving average. So right now the support is found roughly at 8,700, okay? And then now if you look at this further based on price action analysis and also adding in Fibonacci retracement, we gotta factor in the previous interims, okay? So the definition of interim is basically, where is this here, interim? So the definition of interim is the intervening time, in the meantime, basically, right? In the meantime, this is the past or the previous. It's how I refer to it. So right now, the interim swing lows are basically right here. Say, right? So we're gonna just demarcate this area. We're gonna highlight it and set a region and section it off here like that. So the way that I am looking at this is definitely a resistance, right? Resistance, you know, resistance around these particular regions, which held for a fairly long time. We're talking about at least 2-3 weeks. So now, if this breaks down a little bit further, of course, guys, the next mode of support will be around this region. Specifically, it'll be slightly lower than that if it breaks over, anywhere between 84.50, we'll say, and 8600. We should find some temporary support for a scalp opportunity, right? That's my opinion, keep in mind always. And the reason why I was significantly saying earlier that the that the $8,000 range was really important is because of this, okay? So notice on the 2-day average, that's 8,000. The 2-day chart on the 200 moving average, that's 8,000, right? Right around there. And also right around these particular ranges as well, that's about 8K, guys. Right? I'm not going to take the median or anything like that. I don't do that. That's not me. So we see it above 8,000 around this particular range. Let's move her up a little. Which also happens to coincide at exactly this specific region, right? Which is the 786 Fibonacci region. So if you take a look at the 2-day chart, what you're seeing is that if you extrapolate this 200 moving average, you'll actually see that it's going to coincide with the 786 level, which also coincides with this particular region, right? So 786 was the flavor of 2018. This is a big support region right now as well. So I'm led to believe that if this 8450 to 8600 range does not hold, we will clearly see the 8K range. And this is on the bear side, okay? So now we're gonna walk down the line to see other indicators and things that we don't see. I always play I Spy with my little eye. My energy is actually really low today. I apologize, guys, if my tone is very monotone. I've actually been really at it all day, just doing technical analysis by myself. And now I'm sharing with you guys. It took me about 5 hours to do my technical analysis, and now I've compiled it to the point where it's a consensus on my end, and I know exactly what to talk about for you guys. So right now we're seeing the histogram on the daily walk down to the negative side. I don't like that. I need it to be a very small tick for me to have a lot more conviction. Do you know what I mean? I need to have some sort of tick to the upside. Like that maybe? So I don't want this daily to get to the positive side again, because when this happens, it just doesn't really look the best. Or sorry, I don't want it to stay in the negative side. It just doesn't look good whatsoever, right? So now I'm still looking over here. Yeah, that was quite an amazing pump, I have to admit, okay? Let's take a look at the 6-hour chart. Sorry, I got really distracted there. I was thinking about my day tonight, or my tonight chores I've got to run, which is actually quite a bit. So now we look on the 6-hour chart. It's my favorite chart right now, okay? The reason why I like the 6-hour chart the most right now is because of this reason. The 6-hour chart right here is making this specific curvature that I like. So the blue line or the red line could do something like that, right? And then the blue line, which is a small moving average, or the slow one, generally likes to do this. Crosses over, and then one more, right? That's exactly what happened here. So now I'm waiting very diligently to see what happens at this specific region of the crossover here. And I think that we're actually going to get a bullish run in the next few hours if this ends up holding very steady. Because we have to keep in mind that the 6-hour chart, there was a massive bullish candle called this dragonfly doji that actually ended up stretching or spanning a total of about 3.5%, depending on how you look at it. Yeah, so that's a pretty beautiful candle, in my opinion. That's very symbolic of the tension between the bulls and the bears. So because of this specific candle right here, I can't help but be led to believe that we're going to get some reaction to the upside, especially with this MACD as well, with a lower high on the histogram here, which looks beautiful, okay? Not only that, we take a look at the curvature of here, and it looks like it's still challenging it, like I mentioned. In fact, right here, guys, is the one where it's actually parabolically starting to move up as a function of y is equal to e to the x, okay? That's what it's looking like right now. Y is equal to e to the x. I'll show you what y equals to e of the x looks like. It's a parabolic function, right? So that is what I'm looking like right now based on the RSI. And when I see something like that that has the potential to parabolically skyrocket, I believe to myself that right here is going to be a point of interest for RSI. And if that is a point of interest for RSI, and we know that these are forming a clear resistance right now, like flying colors, and we know that this is a function of y is equal to e to the power of x, then we know that this point right here could very much so be challenged. Therefore, with this point being breached, I will absolutely enter a long position for Bitcoin. I just need a little bit more time, a little bit more conviction, and I don't even know if I'm going to enter a trade before we break out of here. I just don't know if I can do it, folks. I'm a little bit too cautious right now, and I don't want to be doing something I'm going to regret later. So what I'm seeing is this ugly channel being formed like a flag. Do you guys like this kind of music here in the background? It's very relaxing, isn't it? Do whatever you need to do to calm yourself down, okay? Always calm yourself down when you're trading. You guys might think that I'm very erratic, which I am outside of trading. Trust me, I'm the most wild person I've ever met in my life, to be quite honest. And I'm like a ball of energy, and I'm just super outgoing, and I'm spontaneous, and I'll do dumb shit like jump off of garages into pools and whatever, you know, and like silly things like that. But when it comes to trading, guys, find that stability. Find a way for you to calm your butt down so you remove basically two things. One's greed, one's fear. And you can relate FOMO to both of them, right? Yeah. So I'm waiting right now to see what's going on. What worries me though is this potential death cross. What I'm hoping for is not a death cross, and right before that happens, we actually end up jumping to the upside. If you look, for example, on the daily here, we were just about to get a death cross on here. A death cross is when the 200 moving average ends up resisting all of it above, okay? So now we see that here, we're dropping. We're about to get a nasty death cross. But of course the bulls decided to step in, and they decided to say, you know what? I don't think we're going to let this happen. So now we're bouncing off of this 200 moving average right now on the daily, and I just can't wait to see how it's going to go in a few days from now. On the 4-hour chart as well, it's very, very neutral in my opinion, okay? The MACD is on the low side, but we don't really have any type of convictions for crossover right now. And the volume is not there. See the volume on this bar and that bar, super low. Previous bars are way higher. 3-hour chart shows nothing as well, right? So now I'm led to believe as well that, hey, if we break to the downside, once again, right below this channel, we're gonna obviously go to that Fibonacci range. I know I might be repeating myself, but these are really important concepts for you to remember. If we break below out of here, who knows, we might not even. But if we do, we're gonna bounce off of 85.44-ish, 84.50. We'll just say between 84.50 and 85.50, okay? And the reason I say that is because, once again, this is right at the golden ratio range. Right here. Alright, so you guys know exactly my thoughts when it comes to breaking out of here. We might even bounce right above 85.54, but I would love to get a test in this green zone. And if we do not hold steadily there, my bullish counts will be off the table, and I'll have to expect an 8K retracement to the lower side there, which makes entire sense. This particular region in here, like this huge region in here that I'm talking about, is a very congested region with decent volume. And because we had lots of activity there, we're certainly going to get a lot of bounces up and down here, and the range will be within $400 of each other. So now that's the bear side, okay? And now the bullish side, simple. Bullish side is simple right here. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to tackle it, okay? It's all up to you guys and what your risk is, right? It doesn't even matter. If I wanted to enter a trade right now, this is personally what I would do. I would be looking for this opportunity right here. So notice how this is the range, by the way, from here to here. This from here to there formed a 6-hour candle, as you can see. So that's a combination. Like, it's formed this candle right there, basically. So now if we take a look at it from here to here, it would actually mark 10 hours. So how many 6-hour candles are in 10 hours? It's at least one, right? One and on 2/3 done the other one. So now we say to ourselves, all right, well, that's, you know, it went that high up there. Let's see what kind of retracement we're gonna get from up there to here. Oh, sorry. We'll just take it from down here to up there. I know it's unconventional right now, but I would love for us to test around 87.20 again before I enter long. But if for some reason, okay, if for some reason we are actually in a bull market here temporarily or whatever, this is kind of the break point, guys. The break point's $8,000, okay? I'm not kidding. It's right around 8,000, maybe 87.90, okay? And if 87.90 breaks out, we're probably not even gonna test 8,900. We'll probably just end up skyrocketing, right? So that's the bullish side. And then where would we end up? We would end up right around the 9K region. Okay, we would end up around 9K because this is a major resistance that definitely needs to be tested right here. 9K-ish. That would be my target, but I probably wouldn't. I might go into Bitcoin, but most likely Neo is a better pick for me right now. So I'm definitely just waiting to see how many things come to fruition. So other than that, guys, my technical analysis, it still does remain the same from basically a few times ago. And I'm going to keep it at that today, all right? And I want you guys to know that a lot of people are showing interest in the Udemy. And I'm not kidding, guys. Like, those coupons, they really suck. If you guys have seen how they are, like I showed you in my last video, you just cannot make any more coupons for the month, right? So I'm forced to give it to people for like way higher than I would like to, right? So I created some free coupons if you paid by crypto to offer a better deal. This way you guys can actually get a better deal because there's lack of coupons that I can actually give out. You can only make 2 coupons a month. It's horrible. So if you're still interested in the courses, let me know, guys. I think it's gonna run out probably by tonight, for sure. I don't know exactly how many got left. Maybe 2 or something. Yeah, like some people didn't follow through last time with it, so you know, some of them I still have, right? So let me know, guys. It's going for 180 for all 3 courses right now. That's course 1, 2, and 3, which is a total of about 40 to 50 hours of videos with reviews of 4.75 out of 5 stars. And if you want just course 1 and 3, it's $100 American. Course 2 and 3 is $100 American as well. Someone asked me very transparently, what the heck are they gonna get? Well, here's what you're gonna get, guys. Take a look here on the right side. This is the curriculum. They are long. The first series is 17 hours, 18 hours long. This course 2 is about the same. Wow, I never knew that. Course 1 and course 2 is actually 1 minute apart. I timed it for about 18 hours for each one. And then course 3 is 4 hours. So that's 36 hours plus 4. That's 40 hours of content. And they are really structured and designed for people from the beginning. And the reviews that they have been getting, the only bad reviews, and I'm super genuine honest, is that I never found time to reply to people on Udemy because it was very difficult for me to manage multiple social media platforms such as Udemy, Twitter, and YouTube. And trust me, I feel awful about it. And trust me, that's why it's going to be taken care of in the future for a surprise down the road. Just make sure that you guys always believe in me and that I'm here to do something good for the community, okay? I mean, we're going to go over amazing lessons. You guys can all go to my Twitter if you're curious about the curriculum. Okay, the password is Philakone, all lowercase. Just go to my right here. They're all right there. Okay, go check out the curriculum. The first one is an introduction. Second one, we tackle Elliott wave and much more advanced theories. And the third one, we do live trading based on my specific trades, and we grow a 2.3 account, 2.3K account to 3K by 30% in 1 day about. So that's kind of insane, right? So yeah, take a look at it, guys. It was a kind of intense day. So anyways, if you guys are still interested in it, now's the time to pick it up for the holiday as well, okay? And I apologize for going to the spiel about this, but I really want people to benefit from it. I think you guys all know right now that I'm trying to do something very different and radical in the Bitcoin community that's purely from an educational perspective. So guys, thank you very much for all the love and the support always. And you know what? I'm so into this right now. Doing a morning market scan for you guys, doing an afternoon Bitcoin technical analysis, and also doing an evening summary wrap up of the coins that I'm watching as well. And I do this for myself all the time, and I only give you guys the technical analysis part, but I'm gonna give you guys 3 videos a day now. Watch. Give me a week. Watch how consistent I am, guys. Life is all about consistency, and I will be a man of my word, and I want to do this because giving you guys videos also gives me more stability. And I'm so proud to say that, keep in mind, guys, that I went to rehab, right? I went to rehab because I just got into some problems where just, life got a little bit boring, put it that way, when you make a little bit of money in crypto. And I'm saying this in the most humble way. I wasn't like this before, but it definitely got a little bit boring. And, I found pleasures in other things, which was not good, but also really good because it gives me a chance to learn a lot about who the heck I am not. When they asked Barack Obama one time during his interview, have you ever smoked weed? You know what he said? He said, yeah. Heck yeah, I did. And the interviewer asked him why. And you know what he said, guys? He said, because I had to figure out who I was not. So, my point is that I figured out who I wasn't, and by releasing these videos to you guys, trust me, it's going to keep me on my feet for you. It's going to give me a lot of motivation to be just a good person, a reliable person. So in a way, you guys are helping me way more than you will ever know as well. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. If it were not for crypto, and if it were not for Bitcoin, if it weren't for just Bitcoin in general, I'll say specifically Bitcoin, not crypto. And if it weren't for you guys following me, without the lack of the support on YouTube and on Twitter, I assure you guys I would not be here today. I know that sounds scary to say, but trust me, I know myself really well, and I think what gave me a lot of strength is to come back to help people here in this community. My dad was a teacher, and I'll forever be a teacher as well. So, had to add a little bit of sentimental value there at the end. Thank you very much for all your time and your support, guys. Have yourselves a great night. Take care. Bye.